Hello again. I spoke yesterday about the fact that identity cards were introduced in Britain during the Second World War, but were still required to be carried 5 years after the war had ended. The Labour government under Attlee thought them very useful. It will perhaps be remembered that the Labour administrations of Tony Blair and Gordon Brown were very keen to bring back identity cards as a method of public control. Moves are now afoot to introduce them as digital ID cards, of course, by the present government. People will put up with things like identity cards, rationing, and censorship during wartime in a way that they might not accept when the country is at peace. As well as identity cards during the Second World War in Britain, it was also against the defence regulations to express extremist political views, spread alarming rumours, or to engage in defeatist talk. These things were thought to be damaging to public morale. Just as with identity cards, most people were prepared to tolerate such an infringement on liberty during wartime in a way that they might not have been when Britain was at peace. Or perhaps people in Britain today simply don't care anymore about their liberty, about free speech and being able to go where they please without telling anybody or saying what they want, even to express views which are mistaken or muddled up, spreading rumours, in other words. I say this because it will be recalled that soon after the death of those three little girls in Southport, a rumour began going the rounds on the internet that they had been killed by a Syrian asylum seeker called Ali al-Shaqaqi. I was quick off the mark in challenging this rumour, of course. Uh, I released a video on July the 31st called The Ghastly Event in Southport and What, if anything, it tells us about modern Britain. And I pointed out that this was an absolutely absurd story that was being circulated about the so-called Muslim asylum seeker. Some people, though, passed on this rumour in good faith, believing it to be true. One of these was a 55-year-old woman from Chester called Bernadette Spofford, and she had now been arrested for repeating this rumour on Twitter. Yes, it is actually against the law to say things now on the internet which are misleading or inaccurate. What? You didn't know this? Anybody remember the Online Safety Act, the one brought in by popular acclamation to protect the kiddies? It creates a criminal offence of transmitting false information electronically. You thought that the act would make the internet safer for children, but in fact it has made it against the law to spread rumours, just as was the case in this country during the Second World War. I give a link to the government website which details some of the offences created by this dreadful act, most of which you have never heard of. Did you know, for example, that it is illegal now to send images containing flashing or flickering lights in case somebody with epilepsy is upset or harmed by them? Of course you didn't. Section 183, offences of sending or showing flashing images electronically. This section creates two new offences that are specially targeted at sending or showing flashing images with the intention of causing harm to a person with epilepsy, where harm means a seizure or alarm or distress. There are many other such sections. The fact that we cannot now send a tweet, post a video on YouTube, or say anything on Snapchat or WhatsApp unless we are sure that everything which we say is accurate and true, is of course a frightening infringement on our liberty. Most of us chat about things we've heard about and don't honestly know whether they're true or not, whether these are urban myths that somebody has told us and we pass on, or rumours about current events. We're not in the habit of having to fact check every casual remark we make on social media. But the law now exists which will enable the government to order the police into action to arrest us if we are too hasty in passing on the latest rumour without checking whether it's accurate or not. Anybody who doesn't find this very disturbing has not perhaps considered properly the full implications of things. They may find it amusing now to see a woman arrested for passing on that silly story about the Muslim asylum seeker, but believe me, now that the government know that they can do this, we're going to be seeing a lot more such cases, even with comments carelessly made on YouTube.